What's up? Tea time, y'all. Okay, let's get into this one. I'm gonna let this hang out. So, I believe this one was sent in by Clint. Shout out to you, dude. Happy guy on Discord. Thank you. I think it's actually happy guy. Anyway, whatever. So thank you so much for sending this in. Really cool note on this one as well. And maybe we'll have it. So you guys can like pause and read this whole thing if you want. But the TLDR is that this is Yunnan tea material processed and produced by a Fuding white tea master, and small 5 kilograms of ancient tree tea produced, experimental run. Grove is tiny, yields are low, access is difficult, and the tea is unlikely to be replicated again. It smells amazing. A rarely exceptional rare crossover of Yunnan ancient trees and Fuding techniques. Dude, Clint, thank you. I don't know. I don't even like. Yeah, I don't feel worthy of the generosity that people bring to sharing tea stuff with us. It's really cool. It's really special. So I'm gonna sit here and really enjoy the session. First steeping, as you just saw, quite a bit of time in there. White tea, as you probably know, is the least processed tea of any tea. As a result, because there's no rolling involved in white tea, the extraction needs to take manually. Why? Oh, my camera just died. Give me a sec, y'all. I'll get that back going. One sec. Oh, wow. I don't know if I stopped recording at all that whole time. Probably not going to edit it. Sorry. There's a like cucumber rind or like smells really good and very different. Oh, sorry, y'all. But I'm getting back in here. Jeez. A lot of tropical fruit. I'm getting passion fruit, I think is what I'm thinking of. Is that the one that has the tiny little seeds that are crunchy inside? It's kind of like a yellow on the outside, and then you scoop it and stuff. Really tart. Getting a lot of passion fruit vibes on that. And yeah. Okay, let's get in here. So liqueur, the soup color is actually, moderately dark. Man, I think I've really gotten excited about white tea this year. I haven't done enough purchasing. Anyway, cheers. I can absolutely taste the Menghai material in this, which is pretty weird because I'm tasting hints. Ooh, some bitterness to this. I'm gonna brew it less strongly this time. I'm tasting hints of a lot of that kind of lower end spicy earth thing. This is really good. This is very different. Ooh, some bitterness for sure. Not super grassy though. Some white teas I've had, yeah, some nice bitterness. Interesting. Some white teas I've had a very kind of like floral, grassy, green, crisp, fresh thing happening, which is fine. It's not my absolute favorite. Get this shot get out of the shot here. I mean, just need to like sit over here more. Anyway. flowers. Ooh, pretty different. Yeah, the Menghai thing is was probably the most noticeable thing I got out of this immediately. It just tasted quite familiar. Sorry if you guys can hear that background beepage. So again, I usually push white teas pretty hard, definitely on the boil still. Not afraid of the bitter, although brewing this for someone else. There's a like vegetable flavor. I think it's like a bitter melon. A kind of a bitter melon flavor on this actually. And it has a spicy pepper, what reminds me of like growing Jeanette's spicy peppers. So kind of like a spicy, fruity, sweet thing. Obviously, this isn't going to literally be spicy. Very weird. Yeah, in the nose, there's lots of different flavors and smells. Maybe even like a little bit of some earthy, potentially kind of Barney type vibes. Material itself is pretty stinking gorgeous. Gosh, I could almost stop up one more to get a little bit more light for everybody here. So this one has a bit more of that eucalyptus that I've tasted in some white teas that was especially prominent in the Yabao from Yunnan sourcing. Strong, lasting bitterness. Aroma on the nose is just freaking crazy. Man, yeah. So floral, so sweet, so like high fruit, tropical. Cheers, y'all. Better with less time. Yeah, I'm tasting the eucalyptus and that kind of like sweet, tangy fruit. Good balance. Only complaint maybe is that I'd like to brew this a little bit stronger so that the viscosity was a little bit higher. I've just become kind of like a mouthfeel snob, and it's hard to do that without making something like this pretty bitter. Grapes and red grapes. Sugary sweet. Some other fruit thing happening in there. Ah, this is a fun one. Yeah. I will give this one more time now. I'm expecting this to frankly be kind of like the last steeping on this, but I'm actually going to push it. I did actually order a Fuding white tea cake from 2016. I'm excited to try. The one reason why, and this is my own hypothesis, guess, I don't really know, but people aging white tea is a thing, and I believe it's probably because the enzymatic processes in the tea itself don't cease because there's no kilgreen step. Things just dry out, and that's it. You have the tea going. So you can actually imagine an evolution in flavor and character in a white tea over time. Man, the ongoing sweetness of this is really just spectacular. Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Honey, more honey on that. And then, yeah, kind of a vegetable earthy thing in there. Really like something starchy that I can't quite put my finger on. It's not radish, not spicy in that way. It's not like turnip earthy, just kind of like a starchy thing, but it's not potatoey. I don't know. Strong residual flavor. This is good. I'm definitely enjoying this one. Cheers, y'all. Ugh. Yeah. even better. Happy boy. Such easy drinking, so sweet. You know, the first steeping I brewed too hard, but that's fine. These last two have been really sweet. Passes the mom test for show. Nice residual sweet flavor. I was able to push that one longer, so better viscosity. I love stuff like this. You know, it reminds me of Yet Sun's Lauka white tea in its kind of high-noted fruitiness with good balance and without a lot of grass. So if you had something like that, if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely check this one out. Check this one out. I don't think you can check this one out. Sorry. Shout out to Clint for hooking this up. This probably would be as similar though as I could imagine to something like that. So I would check that one out from Viet Sun Tea. Different though. This has more strength to it in my opinion. That one's much more airy, not necessarily light. You can brew it hard, but just higher noted. This one has some bassy elements in it that are interesting, kind of an interesting juxtaposition. Definitely a fun session. We'll push this one pretty, give it a good second or two here. Dang it, was I doing the whole thing? I'm like in my own, I get in my headspace, right? Where my eyes are closed and I'm just in it. And I'm like, oh, I'm in the freaking, anyway. So sorry, I've been watching back a couple of the newer episodes and the newer configuration, trying to figure out how to make it work. So apologies. Not used to having my stinking face on the Dennysodes. Nice, really yellow liqueur. I'm gonna expect something like that from having semi-oxidized leaves in the cup as well. You'll notice the browning on the stems being an obvious note there, but also some oxidized leaves in there as well. You can see, but not as oxidized as the Lao Kai Viet Sun tea. Gorgeous material. Yeah. And actually really nice and crisp for 23 white tea. Okay. This actually is very similar to the sweet Yabao, frankly. Just with, that is again, all high notes. This has this like earthy something happening in the low end that is interesting. Adds to the depth of this tea for sure. Cheers. Even before tasting, before literally getting the liquid in my mouth, I'm experiencing the fruit aromas and, oh man, I'm pushing this one again. Totally a treat. Thanks, Clint. This is a fun one. So the brand is Huang Hai Kong King, which translates to Beyond the Smoke. I don't know if you can find something like this anywhere, really. This is just kind of one of those fun, sweet ones for me. Lingering white peach sweetness, interesting mineral, mountain rime, old growth terroir. This to me just tastes really, really delicious. Am I tasting the ancient leaves? I couldn't tell you. I mean, I think it has definitely a basiness to it that's interesting. And I guess some of the memes are that those older trees have extra bass oomph. But I don't know. I never want to overhype my own capacity with tea stuff because I don't believe in it. I think it's, no offense to other people who do, but I think it's mostly bullshit. I'm sorry. I think there's no question that if you're drinking a tea and you're enjoying it. Excuse me. But the idea that like you can taste every nuance in like the year and blah blah. I just don't think that the evidence is there for people being able to do that very well. It's certainly true that I can taste differences in tea quite well, but to say that I could pinpoint specifics on those sorts of things, I know better to say something like that about myself. You might feel that way. If it's true, I'd really think you should figure out a way to truly blind yourself, which means having someone give you no information about any of the tea that you're drinking whatsoever. You drink those different teas, and then you figure out exactly what those teas are. If you can do that reliably, I will pull a Herzog and eat my shoe, but I have to cook it first. I think in duck fat he did. Anyway, nevertheless, I don't put myself in that level of tea drinking esteem. I think it's easy for the people in the community to want to portray themselves in that way, and I'm not finding fault with anyone for doing that. You definitely want to feel like you're growing and learning more when you're doing your tea drinking and stuff. Nevertheless, I just don't personally believe that people's capacity to totally capture all the nuances with high accuracy of all these different characters and aspects of tea is something that's done reliably. That's just me. I think the evidence bears it out fairly well, looking at things like, whatever, comparisons with other stuff. So to be clear though, can I taste the difference between certain types of tea? Can I taste the quality differences between tea? Absolutely, and anyone can. I think they're fairly self-evident. I don't think it takes a lot of knowledge to understand the differences between these teas. So don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to make some big, not calling zero people out. I'm just simply saying that for me personally, I think the idea that, I can taste every single note on this, I was able to sort of note the Menghai character of this, I think because I read about it. I was primed to be like, oh, that's familiar, and that has a Menghai aspect to it to me. If I didn't know where this was from, I don't think I would have been able to pull that note out. Okay, so again, I'm not trying to, point the finger at anyone. Nice strong lingering flavor still. Back to the tea. And we'll keep going here. Fifth steeping. Some white teas like this definitely can handle it. Get nice and warm. Cheers. Man. Oh, this continues to be so good. It's not even very weak. It's not even like losing a lot of its steam. This is cool. This is where okay, I'm testing different stuff. I'm learning different stuff. So is this Fuding processing that is causing this white tea to be able to be pushed a little bit harder for longer? I don't know. Is it the Menghai tea material that's giving this the extra oomph? Is it the 300-year-old aspect of the leaves? I don't know. Am I having a good time with this tea? Absolutely. It's so good, so yummy. So again, I'm not trying to say if you can experience those things and call out those exact notes and whatever, and you can taste you can blind know what is arbor versus wild versus ancient bushes and stuff. Fantastic. Those teas might taste different, of course. They're gonna have different material. They're gonna taste different. But to sort of say, oh, I can taste the 300-year-old aspect of this year of the bush, it's okay. I don't know. I'm also a fairly skeptical person in general, so take all of this for what it's worth, and what matters most is, are you having fun drinking tea? And I certainly am with this one. Nice. It's getting a bit more classic now in my eyes. More like the raisin thing on the top now, and plum. Okay, you've heard me babble for freaking 20 minutes on this one, longer than normal. I'm gonna let this hang out for 10 minutes, this next steeping, and just enjoy this one. I'm getting hot. It's time to get outside and get some sunshine. Subscribe to all the stuff, click all the buttons, do all the things. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces.